Yonder.
I didn't know where to go.
Hey, you got it right.
I'm letting y'all have fun tonight. I'm just gonna bring in that breaks. I'm gonna let y'all gab.
These are new mics, ain't
Yeah,
they?
we got new mics about a month ago.
Wow, man.
That's what we walked in here and said, whoa. Got the office in there, did you notice the high cabinets? I told Gary, I said, these aren't too me friendly. They're too tall for me. Got new chairs in here, new mics.
Did you get new buttons?
No, we ain't got a new button.
I had to call up here until, I don't know, probably a month ago. I had to call up here and I said, hey man, y'all know it was on Saturday. Does she know y'all off there? He was like, what do you mean off there? I said, well, y'all haven't been playing for about 5 minutes. I said, your butt's probably stuck.
Everybody said, how'd you know that? Was it Chad?
I don't know who it was. So, but usually on the weekends, nobody's, I mean, they're here, but they're not.
Yeah, she's leaving voice track.
But it wasn't but a second. It came on.
Don't come in about a
I
minute.
hate that
early.
person, man. Oh, crazy. I can't quit thinking about it. Well, did you bring the bulletin? Because I didn't. You were supposed to type it up.
I just wrote down a few things.
Oh. The router went out the house, so I have no way to print or anything. So
Got an iPad.
he had to do all of it today.
You like that iPad?
I love it.
Man, I love my
I
iPad.
wish I'd have got a bigger one with more storage than what I got.
What'd you get? Should've got a 32.
That's what I should have got. But I back it up to iCloud, so a lot of it goes to iCloud.
Yeah, you gotta buy that.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I wanted the 64. They talked me into doing the 32. Man, I do everything with it. I ain't- you must have got an 8 or 16.
No, I didn't get an 8.
You got 16?
I think it was a 16. Yeah, probably 16.
Well, you got about 14.
I got 3.6 gigs left, so I got 8.3 used. That don't even equal 16. But whole storage, that's out. I think it's a 16. I can't figure out iCloud. Because even though you backed up an iCloud, it's using space here. Because I get filled up, because I've been doing videos and stuff. When we go to an interview and stuff, and video on there. And if I don't delete stuff off and make sure I got plenty of room, then I'll get 2 or 3 interviews in and cut off. It drives me nuts. I wish I'd have got the 64.
32 would be plenty.
Probably,
Dude, I'm telling you, I've had mine.
because I download all my deer pictures on there.
I
I go to
do
my
too.
stand,
I want one
got
now,
that little
And I
attachment.
hated them.
I download the pictures on it, put my card right back in there, and then I look at them when I get
I
back
kind
in.
of do, but I kind of don't. I think I'm just going to get the bigger phone when my upgrade comes out.
Mhm.
I got to upgrade, what, November? September?
I love my 6.
That's what I want.
Yeah, I've been looking at the 6 or the 6 Plus.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you, the 6 is plenty.
That's that 6. Guy we work with, Bill, he's got the 6 Plus.
I want one like his. I thought it was the same thing. Like Bill's. 'Cause
His
I've
is
best
the
with
6
that before.
Plus.
Yeah, that 6 Plus is way too big.
It's huge.
I can do everything I want to do off
And
this
I
six.
like it, but then I hadn't really been able to get a 6 and put it in my hand. Or was it in Texas?
That's a 6.
Texas. Bill had a 6 and a guy came up and he had a 6 plus and the guy came up and had a 6. I said, that's a 6, let me see it. And where we got Bill's, I was like, golly, I mean, pull mine out and like, you know, well, that's all I need is
6 all you need.
that, you know. 'Cause I don't,
Is it bigger? It doesn't look any bigger.
Yes, it is.
yeah, it's a lot bigger.
No, I mean his and Bill's.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Bill's
yeah.
is like twice that size.
Yeah, that 6 plus is way. I started to get one. It's just way too big.
But this one, I like this one because we go to the woods hunting and stuff. I'll take it off this clip and I'll stick it in my shirt pocket, and it dries fine. 6 plus ain't gonna fit there.
The 6 is fine.
It fit
I
me.
just stick it in my pocket. I just stick
I
it
can't
in
do that.
I can use it like a
I'll bust
wallet.
No, you won't. Dude, I sit on it all the time. You ain't gonna bust it with a life briefcase. I can drop it in the water.
Okay, you ready?
We got a minute.
Just gotta do all the outdoors.
It's the Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoor Show on Z107.5 with your hosts, Randy Watson and Todd Causey.
And welcome to Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. I'm your host, Brandy Watson, along with Todd Causey.
How y'all doing out there?
And we also have a special guest, Dan Lord with Neela. We have Dan back in the studio. I know he's been on with us before. Unfortunately, Kim's not able to be with us tonight, but how are you doing, Dan?
I'm doing great. Glad y'all have us.
Dan said, I thought y'all had forgot all about me. And I said, Dan, we can never forget you.
Now we talk about Neela on just about every show. There's been a few shows where we're so caught up with the Crappie Masters or the Hog Bayings or whatever it may have been. But a lot been going on, Neela. I've been keeping up with it, you know, doing the archery talk, posting scores, or not posting, but reporting scores on the show. And y'all had a good season so far.
We have had a good season. Lots of new shooters, a lot of new faces that we haven't normally seen that we're seeing now. And a lot of youngins. I like seeing the little kids come out.
Oh, definitely. 'Cause that's the future of 3D archery is the little guys.
It is, and it's a lot of fun watching them.
You know, and now I know, as everyone knows, we have had a ton of rain, and so has Texas and Oklahoma. We're still praying for all those people in the other states that are flooded, as well as here in Louisiana. Now, how did all this rain affect the archery ranges?
It hasn't affected us at all. Most of us are in the hills, so it hadn't really affected us as far as rain.
Yeah, I knew Okaloosa Archery. They got a nice range. The rain don't hardly ever bother over there, but Tupau, sometimes the rain affects the
It
sheriff's
does,
range
but-
a little bit, but they got so many ranges they can move to, right?
Right. Yeah,
So they can
it's been a
basically-
little wet here and there, but all in all, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. Nothing a good old pair of rubber boots don't take
That's
care
right.
of.
That's right. It rained a little bit us on the center point Saturday, but people had to wait a few minutes, let it rain die down, and they went right on out and shot.
How much rain did y'all get Saturday? Just not much. We got maybe 30 minutes of rain at our house.
It wasn't much that day, and at the house, we got 1 3/4 inches that night. But during the day, it was fine.
Yeah. This actually was mine and Brandy's first weekend free from having to be, you know, somewhere, something to do with a show on the weekend. Or it's our first weekend to be able to stay home, if you will. And we was thankful that we didn't get a little bit of rain Saturday. Gave us a chance to get outside Saturday. And then of course Sunday didn't get no rain, and as it was a habit, I didn't leave the house. Went outside and fed the dogs. Other than that, I didn't leave the house. I was tired and ready to relax.
I bet so.
I think we both were. I mean, it's nice to do all that we do and be blessed to be able to do everything that we do and to go and travel. But there's also times that you just want to be at home. And this was the first time I think we actually got to stay home both together at the same time. Because I know you actually had a weekend off, Todd, that I actually didn't get. But I think since January, this is the first weekend we've actually both been home at the same time.
That's right. And it was pleasant. And got another one coming up this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. When we was talking about Neela and you was excited to see all the new faces and the new shooters coming out, especially the little guys. What else has been going on?
Just shooting.
Just shooting.
Just shooting.
I know it seems like to me, with reporting the scores on the show and everything, it seems like to me that you've had more participation longer into the season than what has been the last few years.
We've had a lot of cooler days this year. It hadn't been real hot. And usually that's when participation slows down, when it gets real hot. And so far, they've been nice days on Saturdays when the shoots go on that people are able to come out and shoot.
Yeah, most of the shoots, throughout the year has had either around that 100 shooter mark or over up until the last couple of weeks, and it's dropped off a little bit.
Well, you
Not
have
much.
You have graduations,
Right.
And you have all that stuff. It
It has to
slows
do with-
people down.
Yeah, the time of the year and what's going on with
School getting
School,
out and going
baseball
on
starting.
vacations and baseball, and that slows it down. Well, we had 70 shooters Saturday, so I thought that was real good. Normally, it's around 50 about this time of the year.
That's-
So 70 shooters was happy to see.
Yeah, that's right. And talk about the new shooters. I mean, going over the names, look at the scores, and see who's shooting. Man, I'd say probably at least 30 to 40% are all new shooters or new names that I haven't seen.
Right.
And that's good for the future of 3D arts.
Well, that's the way it normally does. You'll have a group that comes in for 4 or 5 years and they get burned out, and then the newer ones come in and start shooting. It kind of gets some people discouraged when they can't win, because you have 2 or 3 real salty shooters that come in and they win all the time, and they'll just practice a little bit and wait their time. Those will kind of fall out, and
Just
they'll
stick-
be the top shooters.
Stick with it. It rolls around. Of course, got some great shooters in Neely. I look at the scores each week, and seem like the scores get higher and higher.
Well, a lot of times it's just a few of us that are able to set the tournament up, and so they kind of get a little easier. Most time 50 yards is the max, but when you're a couple people setting it up, you tend to 30's good enough.
That's right. Beginning of the season, it put a lot more effort into changing everything up and making a lot of variety in shots. And later in the season, it's like you just go down the trails, walk, stick it up, and that's good enough, and let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next thing you know, you go back and look when it comes time to go shoot. Like, man, I made this a close shoot. We're gonna make it tough next week and then the next time.
Yeah, we'll leave it the same.
Yeah. But they're definitely fun to shoot, and a lot going on with Neely right now.
You've been listening to Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. We're going to take you to your Nomis Tech Tip, and we'll be back with more after this.
Here's another
I've got a
Southern
rash.
Outdoors Tech Tip, brought to you by
I'm
Nome's
allergic
Fun
to
and Gun
the
and
just
Jonesboro.
soap problem.
Coming to the biggest little
I
store
gotta turn it up a little bit so I can
Nome's
hear it. So I
Fun and
know.
Gun in Jonesboro, Louisiana. Diamonds, jewelry,
There's
guns,
Latham
big
being-
screen TVs, tools, and a whole lot more. Purchase a scope.
I figured as much.
Nome's will mount it free of
By the
charge.
time you turn around, he
Three
a
more
picture of him and that
sites.
old gal on
0%
Facebook.
down and no interest on 12 months.
He ain't been
Same
shooting.
as cash.
I'm glad I seen his name
Nome's
at one
has been in
time.
business for 30 years. Nome's Fun and Gun,
he made-
where you get everything from diamonds to double
I think he
barrels.
made
418
he made one
Avenue,
tournament this year.
Jonesboro, Louisiana.
Basketball.
Welcome to Southern Outdoors Tech Tip, brought to you
Yeah,
by
he had a shot.
Nome's Fun and Gun,
And
located in
now
Jonesboro,
Jason.
Louisiana,
He works for
where you get
me.
everything from diamonds to double barrels.
Jason does?
So go by and see
No
Sonny.
way.
Tell him Southern Outdoors sent you.
Those.
What's our Latham doing?
As
Latham
3D
doing
archery
it?
season comes to a close next month,
They
it'll
need
be
2
time to
boats.
start getting your bows ready for the upcoming bow season. I know a lot of 3D shooters use their hunting bows for 3D
Can't believe
archery
they're
as well.
paying Jason enough to
So
leave
there is in
the
some
job he
cases a
had to do it.
transformation that needs to take place. Time to start taking all of your 3D tournament equipment off your bow
Camera?
and getting that hunting equipment installed.
Camera?
Some of us are do-it-yourselfers, and some of us will take their bows to their favorite archer shop
No.
to have it done.
Mike might
Either
be
way is
good.
fine. But there are a few
Especially as
things you
soon as he
need to
hit
keep
that
in
button,
mind,
and she says, I got a
like
rash.
having that string checked out. Make sure it's in good shape. You do
That would
not
be
want
so
to have to replace
good.
it.
Yeah, well, I meant, like,
Yeah, I know what you
want to be
meant,
sighted in your
but
broadheads and hunting
if the
sights.
microphone,
he knew what I meant.
So what
Yeah,
if the
they
mic
did.
had that
if the
string
microphone wouldn't have been, would have
Also,
been
be sure
turned
to
on,
eliminate
everybody
all
would
those
have
squeaks
been,
that's been bugging you all 3D season. Don't want a
I
minor
did mess up
sweep
last week.
to
We had
stroke off that trophy
phone
book
in, some
when
phone
you
in,
finally gotten
2
into
weeks
boat
ago,
range.
phone in. And I was doing,
First boat
the guy
runs,
was
there
calling,
is a
so I
lot
got
of
a speaker over
preparation
here
that
for
goes
that.
into just getting
And
your
when we went
boat
to break,
ready,
I
as
forgot
well
to
as
turn
getting
his volume
yourself
down,
tuned
so
in
we
for
were
that perfect
doing
shot.
this right here. We were talking,
I know if
so they
everyone
could
else
hear
is
him
like
out of his
me,
radio
boat
playing.
season can't get here soon
Yeah.
enough.
I
And
just
I've
happened
already
to pick
started
up
getting
the
my stands and my boat ready.
earphones and I heard
So
him.
don't wait till the last
Got it
minute.
turned down right
Go
quick.
ahead and get these
Luckily,
things
before
done
he said anything
before time runs out.
longer.
Good luck.
Now, back to the Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoor Show on Z107.5. It's not just fun.
Y'all
It's
tripped
a
me
way
out.
of life.
And welcome back to Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. I'm your host, Brandy Watson, along with Todd Causey and Dan Lord. Don't forget, download the Red Peach Radio app free on your Android or iPhone and listen to us anywhere in the world, or go to Z1075FM.com. And we're talking about slinging the mares.
That's right. We were just discussing during the break there, all the new shooters that's been out, and some of the older shooters has fallen off and hadn't been out as much this year. But you're getting down to the last tournament of each club here
Yep.
in June, and we've got the championship in July.
July the 11th.
So it's getting down to the wire right here.
It is, and just because the championship is designed for all the shooters that have shot throughout the year, but we don't discourage anybody that wants to come and shoot. The stipulation to shoot the championship and win is you have to shoot at least one club each time. There's 4 clubs. You have to shoot Center Point, Bastrop, Tupau, Okaloosa at least one time and be a member to be able to place in the championship. But we don't discourage anybody that wants to come out and have fun on a Saturday to shoot.
Yeah, that's right. It's open to all
It's
all
open
shooters.
to all shooters, but they can't place if they're not qualified.
And it's open to anybody to come to the banquet as well, correct?
They are.
As long as they can get a ticket and,
Right.
and in advance enough that you can prepare to have that many
And
people
I
there
think,
for the food.
I think the tickets will go on sale in the next week or two. That they come out and sell, come to the banquet, enjoy it with us, and watch everybody receive their trophies that they've won throughout the year.
That's a good time if somebody hasn't been shooting any 3D tournaments and is thinking about getting a needle and they can't get out to any of the club tournaments until the championship. That's a good time to come on out and enjoy the shoot, and then stay and enjoy the banquet, and you'll really see what NELA and all the clubs is all about.
That's why we don't discourage anybody that wants to come shoot, during the championship, because they get to see. And if they were to come to the banquet and see, especially the little kids that win the trophies, and we usually give kids bows, 2 or 3 kids bows out every year, and just to see their face of winning a new bow that they get to shoot. A lot of families can't, although the archery has come down in price where you can get an affordable bow for a kid, some people can't afford that, so we do what we can to help them out.
And that's a good thing, and NELA's done that for a long time now. And just being there at the banquets and seeing these young kids, win these bows, and and as Dan said, it's not that they just luck up and win. These bows were picked specially for the kids, and pretty much, hand chosen for each person who wins it, almost.
Right.
I'm not gonna say yes, that's what it is, but almost, because they go out and pick out and buy or get donated bows that will only fit this age group kid,
That's right.
and then they pull that age group in and say, okay.
And we give them each a ticket,
Mhm.
and then we'll let them all sit down, and then about every 30 minutes we'll draw a ticket up to see who wins the bow, and there's no cost to the parents. That's just,
Tickets are free. They just come and win a bow.
that's
and
right.
I think I didn't make the banquet last year, but the year before I think we had 5 or 7 kids bows.
We did.
It was a big number, because it was almost like every 5 minutes you had a kid going up there to win a bow, and like you said, to see the excitement on their face to win that bow was just priceless.
Yeah, that's the best thing about it, is watching the kids. It's happy to watch the adults get happy, but seeing the looks on the kids' face when they receive something like that, and then they use it.
Yes.
That's what makes it better.
And I know Neela does a lot of work with the kids when they come out to try to help them, you know, perfect shooting a bow to help
We
them
do, and
get
there's lots of
involved.
people that help.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people that, it doesn't matter who you are, if you have problems or not, there's lots of people there that will bring you in like a family and sit you down and show the kids different ways of doing things.
Yeah, there's one of the good things about Neela. They're not just a place you can go shoot your bow. You know, you come out to the tournaments and you need help with something. Find the members, call one of the club members or of any club, whichever one you're close to, and any one of them would be more than willing to you know, take a little bit of their time to help you, help your child, or even help an adult, you know, learn the art of shooting a bow.
Right, and they can go to NELA.org, that's NELAA.org, and that gives all the list of the local tournaments, just about everything, directions, phone numbers, contacts, anything they need. Kim does a fabulous job.
Oh, she definitely does
Fabulous
that.
job with this webpage. Tournaments that are done on Saturday, she busts her tail and she has all the scores posted immediately that night. So she works really hard on the webpage.
I know all the club members of Neela and all the four clubs in it. I know they all appreciate the work that she does on the website because she does a really good job.
A lot of people don't understand the amount of time that she puts into what she does. The championship takes a lot of hours, especially the banquet, and she does a lot of it herself. She works really hard at it.
You've been listening to Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. We're going to take you to your fishing report, and we'll be back with more after this.
When it comes to power sports,
Do you have any of the
come to
scores,
Northeast
like-
Louisiana's
or
premier
you can announce
power
them in
sports
the-
destination.
Yeah, Mark, of course,
Bayou
last week
Power
was Mark.
Sports Monroe. Bayou Power Sports carries motorcycles, scooters,
In this
speed
next section, we got about
editions,
15,
and
17
side-by-sides
minutes.
from Honda,
Y'all coming to
Yamaha,
championship,
Polaris,
the
and
banquet?
Sea-Doo, as
When
well
is
as
it?
Honda
Wanna do our
Trailers
best.
and Eaton scooters
Huh?
and
11?
ATVs.
July
And
11.
Bayou Power Sports Service Department specializes in aftermarket parts and
Yeah,
accessory
I'll just make sure you wouldn't want
factory
July 11.
authorized service,
July.
and repair and maintenance on all makes and models for customers just
I made
like you.
July, so
No
you
need to
can
go
come.
anywhere but Northeast Louisiana's premier power sports
We haven't missed one yet, have we?
Yeah.
Did we miss last year?
Yeah,
we
we
did
missed
miss
last
last
year.
year.
Yeah, y'all missed last year. Last year was a good one.
Powersports.com.
Oh, the food was fabulous.
On the Southern Outdoors Show, it's time now for the fishing report.
Welcome to Southern Outdoors Fishing Report. Black Bayou, bass are fair on brush hogs and lizards, while brim fishing is good around shallow beds. Caney Lake, cheeky bents, and bluegills are on the beds and hitting crickets, night crawlers, and coal worms. The crappie are fair around the deep tops with shiners and jigs, picking up a few fish.
Who's gonna cook at the banquet again this year? Same
Bass
guy?
have moved deep with the best
Most
catches
likely
made
we
around
didn't set
brush
that up,
and
but I'm
submerged
sure.
points on big plastic worms and
If we can get
crankbaits.
him, that's who's gonna do it.
Catfishing is best on trot lines or noodles.
This weekend's Bastard, right?
Yes.
Soaked in garlic. Lake
We won't
Claiborne,
be there this
brim fishing
weekend.
is
This is
good
Marine
as the
Go
fish are on the
I heard
beds
it
and
on
hitting
radio.
crickets and worms.
What now?
Crappie fishing is
Marine
fair
Go
with some
swamp
big
ride.
fish caught around the
We
tops
go
of
every
15-foot water
It's
on
the,
shallows or jigs.
Wish I could
Bass up
come
to
back.
6 pounds are hitting plastic lizards.
Have they gotten any
Stripers are
uh,
improving with best catches
has that
made
trail gotten
showing,
any better?
white bucktails.
No.
Catfish are good on coal worms and blood and cheese baits by rod and reel fishermen on trot lines.
I imagine with all the rain we've had, it's
Lake
really
Darbone,
bad, ain't it?
rising murky water with plenty of current has slowed the crappie fishing some. Although some catches have been made fishing jigs or shiners 10 feet deep over 20-foot deep tops. Best jigs this week have been the popsicle, monkey milk, the Cajun cricket, and black leg hair jigs. Lots of catfish are being caught along with brim on coal worms. Bass have been best along channel
Some
edges
class
on
has been back
crankbaits.
bouncing around as far as who's
Watched
winning
over.
every week.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't
River's
been like,
rising, but a few
except
bass
pro
have
class
been
and
caught in
Jason
river
Davis.
lakes on spinners
Yeah,
and
he
crankbaits.
cheats.
Crappie
That's
are
why I tell
slow
him all
to
the time.
fair
There
with
was
best
two
catches made
people that
drifting
said
shallows.
that he was cheating.
Shinny Lake,
They
the
don't know
brim
him,
bite
you know.
is on
And
around the beds on worms and
He
crickets.
got a little
Crappie are
rough.
scattered around the trees
Told everybody
and the bite is
they were
slow.
welcome to come shoot with him anytime.
Bass
He
have been
got there
best on
between 9 and
spinners
10.
and rows.
They come shoot with him.
And this has been
This man,
your
nobody
Southern
wants to watch
Outdoors
him
Fishing
cheat.
Report.
I mean, they already know it. I teach
Now,
them.
back to the Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoor Show on Z107.5.
You know if you win,
It's not just hunting.
Yes, of
it's a way
course.
life.
That's in everything, ain't it?
yeah.
Welcome back to your crazy crew here at Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. I'm your host, Brandy Watson, along with Todd Causey and Dan Lord. We're out here talking about slinging some arrows, and the countdown has begun and to the championship. We have about 1 month.
That's right.
You don't make it no faster.
One shoot per club, and then an off weekend, and then the championship. So it's creeping up fast. You know, it don't take long. It seemed like just yesterday was finishing up with deer season. You know, and now here we're already into June. Be soon
That's
be
'cause
July.
we're getting older.
You're right.
When you get older, time flies.
Time flies, and you're already starting to think about getting boat stands ready. You know, with our club and everything. We get our memberships around the end of May, have our hunting club meetings, and pick out our new spots and everything. So I was lucky enough to get a few new spots this year. So I'm real excited about those spots. So I can't wait to get my boat stands up. And,
Watch the hogs.
well, yeah, yeah. I'm hoping.
I think that's funny.
I'm hoping for a little something different, but I will say the spots that I've got are all around where the hogs are plentiful. But that's okay. That's okay. A hog eats just as good.
I can't laugh too hard after the last year I had with hogs.
You know, the last few years I've been I'm gonna say cursed with having a lot of hogs on my stands, and I'd get discouraged, and so I'm hunting for a deer, you know, and I get discouraged and go try to find a little spot, get on a little spot. Well, this year, if the hogs want to come, I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna watch them and I'm gonna shoot them.
Well, you know how it is. When you go squirrel hunting, you see deer. You never see the squirrels. So just go hog hunting. Don't go deer hunting, and you'll see plentiful deer.
It's not one.
He might be on to something there.
I haven't been hog hunting 4 or 5 times this year and ain't got one hog.
Yeah, but you weren't doing it deep down. You have to be
Oh, I was
true
doing
hog
it.
hunter.
had a buggy load of dogs and people and everything going after them, and just had. But
That's because they were all in our backyard when we went hunting for them. They're like, they're gone, let's go to the backyard.
Dick we come home from Uncle Earl's and had
11?
the whole backyard ready up, and so I got a trap, set it out back there and caught.
You see, you hunt close to your house,
That's right.
so the hogs just follow you home.
Follow me on.
So you treat them too good. That's what it is.
Feed them too well is what I'm doing. But you know, looking forward to bow season this year. Again, like I am every year. Hoping to get to spend more time in the bow stand than what I did last year, because I got discouraged with my bow stand because, you know, where I'm at, I know what's there. And when the hogs came in and took over my spot, I knew what they were keeping out. And it really frustrated me. Well, this year I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna sit there.
Well, you know, I'm not a biologist,
We're gonna.
but it's pretty good indication with the amount of rain that we've gotten this year. And if you go in the woods, because we're in the woods every weekend, you know, setting up archery ranges, and everything's green. Well, it's normally this time of the year. You know, we had to go out and weed eat, and that's something we normally don't have to do this time of year.
That's right.
And it's very green in the woods, so you would think that the deer will have a lot of good, you know, to eat.
Yeah, they're gonna have plenty of browse, and this great, you know, abundance of rain is really gonna be good for the acorn crop this fall. So, you know, in my opinion, your best bet's find you a good acorn tree, a natural food source, and hunt that versus, you know, your supplementary foods.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. Because with the new spots I got is in hardwood bottom and stuff, and I'm gonna try to find where they starting to feed, and that's where I'm moving my bow stand. So maybe it'll work out for me this year. Maybe it
Well,
won't.
we hunt in Nebraska, and we've got a report that the horns are good. They're already full velvet and good horns already. So that's a pretty good indication that around the United States that, you know, the rain has really helped the feeding of the deer.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, especially when you're like me and you're you know, hunting a trophy deer. You know, of course, I want to put a couple in the freezer for meat, but what I want is another one on the wall. So hopefully it'll work out this year, and I'll get one
Or a hog.
or a hog. You know. I got 12 of the hogs in the pen right now, fattening them up. As soon as they get big enough, they going in the freezer.
Well, you could have a season like I had last year, which is the worst season I've ever had in my life. Where I guess my years of picking on Todd with the hogs, you know, they say what goes around comes around. I got mine last year. Because all the time I spent picking on him about the hogs, had some nice, well, supposedly some nice deer were supposed to be coming into that stand, and all I seen was yearlings. But then the hogs ran them off, and they decided to stay. Well, the hogs would never come out in the day so I could shoot them. They would only come out at night. So, that went my hunting for last year.
No, I think you're forgetting. It was worse than that, because you actually had, before hunting season, all you was getting pictures of was decent bucks.
Yeah,
Remember?
it was before hunting season.
Yeah, before hunting
keyword
season,
being
and right in
before
hunting season.
I'm talking during hunting season.
Right at hunting season, the hogs moved in. Actually, it was actually like a week after hunting season started.
Mm-hmm.
The hogs moved in and gone. Never seen another deer.
Now, mind you, this happened on both of my stands, and they went close to each other. So that was my hunting season. So I guess when they say what goes around comes around, so all the time that I spent on picking and laughing at Todd, my payback came around. So maybe this year,
That's what you
I'm
tell
not
me.
gonna hold my
I
breath.
come home mad because hogs took over my spot, and have 900 pictures on my camera in 3 days. Like, come home and go through pictures, and it'd be 900 pictures of hogs. Oh, that'd be okay, just go hunt over here and go over here, same thing over here. Oh, it's fine,
I was trying to be
Ain't
positive.
no reason getting upset and mad and everything. Well, this past hunting season, she got to see how it feels to have your deer season
Yeah, but the
ruined
difference
by.
with Todd and me
by
was he
talking
would
to
see a
video.
deer every now and then on camera. Me, no deer. Nothing, not one deer for 6 weeks at all whatsoever on any camera on any one of my stands. Nothing.
See, I tell her she shouldn't be ragging you.
I know, that was my payback. That's what I was saying. Y'all watch what y'all rag people with, because what goes around comes
Maybe she'll
around. I
think-
got
Maybe
mine.
she'll think about that. Next time she wants to rag me over something like that.
What's so bad is I had such a bad season last year, I just can't even get geared up for this next one. I'm just like, whatever.
I'm excited. Got
I'm not.
a new spot, really good spot, and of course it's right down from the spot I'd picked up last year that the hogs moved in on me. But now I've got that whole end of that road, and it's mainly hardwood and with some pine plantation too. But I've got me and the buddies got the whole road, but I've got the whole end, so I've got it all to myself. So I can move around in that, being I've got 2 spots in one area, I can move around a whole lot, trying to cut the deer off, find the natural food sources they're feeding on at the time, and set my bow stands up like that. So I'm hoping to be lucky this year. How was your hunting season last year?
I didn't get to hunt much because I had to work, but Kim did a lot of hunting. Kim killed a few hogs too.
I remember seeing that on Facebook. I think we talked about that one day on the show about the hogs she was killing.
Yeah, she had.
Somebody
that's
got to
what-
put the bacon on the table.
Yeah, she did. She did. She did a good job at it. I think she killed 3 or 4 hogs.
You got a whole house full. Your son hunts too, so you got plenty of people killing deer at your house or hogs.
Yeah, so why not? I just work and
Yeah, it's just me. It's just me and Brandy, and we're both so picky. We won't just shoot anything that walks out. So we go away with one deer for the. You put one deer in the freezer last year, so that's all we had. It's been gone for months now.
yeah, we're still eating pork.
Well, even our pork's gone. We got a hog last year, and
So you should have got mini hogs.
I should have.
Yeah.
If I hadn't let my frustrations get to me, but I got plenty now. I got 12 in there. I'm fattening it up, and they all going to pan. Well, not all. I can't put all 12 of them in the freezer. I'd have to buy more freezers, but I'm gonna get a couple of them cut up and done with pork sausage, fresh pork sausage, and the rest of them gonna get cooked on the pit. But anyway, back to Neela.
Archery.
Some 3D archery.
Like Kim said, slinging them arrows.
Slanging them arrows. What can we expect with the year, how the years went, and with a lot of, like I said, a lot of new faces and stuff? Are you expecting any big changes for the next upcoming season?
I'm not expecting any changes. I think the changes that we did this year are kind of set. I think everything is going smooth. A lot of people are liking the Gnome 45 class.
I see a lot of participation in that class.
It's, you know, you have a lot of us that work every day. We don't get to shoot our bow like we normally used to. And we're able to get the bow and go, and you can range. Because typically when you hunt, you're going to range your spots.
That's right.
And so it kind of helps you. It discourages a lot of people having to go out and try to figure out where they're going to, you know, they have to figure out the distances and discourage them because they were losing arrows. And so we set this up so they can take their rangefinder and they can range and kind of like a hunting situation. And it kind of helps the ones that work don't have time to shoot, and plus it helps the ones that hunt to be able to go out and range and shoot the targets.
Well, that's right, because, you know, it's not, judging yardage is not an easy task.
No,
And
it's not.
If you don't continue to practice at it, you know, you may get good, but then you don't get in the field and do any ranging for months on end, and you go back out and you start doing it again, well, you're off.
Right.
So if you get, it's something you have to continually do to be able to be good at it. And some people are real good at it, and some people you can mark it on the trees and they couldn't judge how far.
Well,
it is.
typically the ones that are real good at it, they do it all the time.
Right.
It's a repetitive exercise. They take their rangefinder to work, and just as they're out there, they just look at a tree or look at a trash can and judge the distance and range it and go on. It doesn't create any problems at work, and they kind of just walk through and do it, and they do it every day.
Mhm.
And the more exercise they get in that, the better they are when it comes to 3D.
I know, you know, in my, you know, bow hunting experience and 3D shooting 3D tournaments experience, you know, I'd gotten pretty good at judging yardage, and I could pretty much judge down to, I'm gonna say, yard and a half, you know, either way. And a few years ago, I changed my contacts up. I'd gotten to the point where I was needing the old reading glasses, you know, and stubborn, hard-headed. I ain't care. Every time I want to look at my sight and adjust it or read my phone, so I went with one reading contact and one contact for distance. And let me tell you,
That's why you walk sideways.
let me tell you, that made a big difference in judging yardage, because it went, my depth perception left.
Right.
And I couldn't, you know, I'd go out there and judge and I'd be 6-7 yards short. And I might do that 3 or 4 times in a row. And I'm like, well, okay, I'll just, you know, add 6 or 7 yards to it every time. Well, then I'd add, and I'd be 6 or 7 yards over. So it would flop back and forth. And it wasn't just I was short on everything. I was either short on one and long on the other. Just depending on the terrain around me that affected me. So this year I went back to. I'm actually in the process of waiting on them to come in now. Going back to just regular long range contacts, and I'm just going to go buy me some cheaters and be done with it.
Well, you know, there's a difference between known and unknown. A lot of us that started out shooting unknown classes, I shoot better on an unknown class than I do a known class. It's because you have that little 12 that you go for. And if you're in a known class and you range it and it's 43 yards, you say it's 43, and you're going for it. But you compensate more for an unknown class. So you look down there and say, well, I think it's 42, might be 43. Well, I'm gonna aim a little higher.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're off a yard or two, it falls into it, or you're safe with a 10. So there's a difference there that it's hard to learn when you go to a known class. Even in the ASA shooting known, which I really enjoyed that class, because they're more serious than unknown classes. They want you to be quiet so they can concentrate, where you can joke and laugh with the known class. And those guys shoot every day. They know their bow inside and out and what it will do at increment of yards. And it's hard to compete on a known class in a big, like an ASA.
National event.
Right, because that's what they do. A lot of dart shooters. You have a lot of pro shooters that are now falling back into the known classes. So the ones that have been shooting the pro class that have been really good, now they're having to reestablish their game, and now they're shooting known classes. Known is becoming more popular today than unknown is.
I know, in my experience shooting the ASA tournaments, national events, I always wound up doing worse on the known day than I did, because in the classes I shot, you shot one day of known, or so the first day would be unknown and the second day would be known. And I always did worse on the known class day, known
Because you
yardage day.
compensate on the first day, and your brain is telling you, okay, it's 40 yards. I'm putting my bow on 40 yards, and I'm going for it. Because when you shoot in the big classes like that, you have to go for the more points.
That's right.
And it's your brain activity telling you, hey, you can do it, go for it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I do. You know, I'd come out the day before, maybe being 6, 8, 10 points down, and I'd say, well, I can make that up on the known day, pop me 3 or 4 14s in a row, and I'll have that. Well, then try that 14 and you miss it by a little bit. Well, that's a 5. Well, now you're down even more. Well, I got to get back to the next one. I wind up on the known day. It's a 20 target course. I wind up shooting 14s all the way down, and get mostly 5s. You know what I mean? 'Cause, I mean, it's tough. It's not easy. Shooting 3D is not. It's not easy, but gosh, it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and if you're real competitive, then that's what makes it a little more difficult. But just to
I
have
think
fun.
we know somebody that's very competitive, Dan, don't you? I think I know somebody over there.
Yeah, he's tired of getting beat up. That's why he never shoots much anymore.
So, well, I was definitely there at the end. I was getting beat, but I didn't have the time to practice. Like I said, if
But
you
we
want to
have,
shoot good, you
we
got to
have
practice.
the known class now. We have the known class.
And I told you the first year that I was going to come out and I was going to try to shoot the known class this year. But like we was telling you earlier, we've been so busy and I haven't. It's our first weekend off this past weekend, so I haven't had time to do nothing.
We have Bachelor Bow Hunters coming up this Saturday.
Weekend. I may grab my stuff and try to make it up there. I don't know. Depends on how the week goes. And
Well, the thing about it is now we're at a point to where if somebody wants to qualify for the championship,
they need to be out shooting.
they can come. Each club has one more shoot, so they can start now and they can shoot the next 4 weekends, and they'll be qualified for the championship. It's not meaning they can't shoot the championship; they just can't place in the
That's right. They
championship.
qualify for the championship.
Right, and our membership.
The shoot
this
is
year-
open to anyone, but to qualify for the championship, you need to shoot each club at least one time.
Right.
And be a member of
NELA.
NELA.
And we changed the membership this year. Instead of each club having to be a member of each club, now you become a member of NELA, and you can shoot each club at a discounted price.
And you've been listening to Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. We're going to take you to your NELA archery talk. When we come back, we'll have more about NELA and the dues.
Clean up with Theo's top quality hardwood floors from Lumber Liquidators. Tired of an old carpet? Replace it with stylish and affordable hardwood like 5-inch pre-finished oak for just 99 cents. It's easier to clean than carpet. This week we've got it for less than half of what you pay at other stores. Or get hand-scraped bamboo for $1.99. It's beautiful texture and now with 43% less. Plus laminate and more for 49 cents and 18 months special financing. Now is the time to roll up that dingy carpet and lay down a quality hardwood floor. It's
Yeah, I
Lumber
picked up-
Liquidators. Pound for the store.
We got my lease.
Now that Rite Aid is
We
part
got
of the Plenty program,
120
Wellness
acres
Plus
leased
is more rewarding than ever.
right behind our house.
Because now Wellness Plus with Plenty gives you
I
a
picked
second
up
way to
another
save
60
with
acres
Plenty
over
points, which works
our
similar
lease. It
plus
used to be
rewards,
part of our
only
lease.
better. Because
And,
Plenty points can be earned in one
we kicked the
place,
president out a
and
couple
use
years
for
ago.
savings at
He went
Rite
behind
Aid,
our back and
Macy's,
leased it.
AT&T, Exxon, and
And
Mobil,
I got
and
it
other
back from him this
participating
year.
partners. So if you like plus-ups, you're going to
Well,
love
got that-
Plenty points.
that
Wellness Plus
spot.
with Plenty. Get your card at Rite Aid
I
today.
joined the
With us,
Silverboro
it's
Buck
personal.
Club this year.
When it comes
Buck
to
Club?
power
Yeah.
sports, come to Northeast
Is
Louisiana.
it a hunting club or is it?
Yeah.
Power sports destination. Bayou
Yeah.
Power
Where's it-
Sports
where's it at?
Monroe.
By the house.
Bayou
By the
Power
house?
Sports carries motorcycles, scooters,
I enjoy having our hunting
and
club right by the
side-by-sides
house.
from Honda,
It's
Yamaha,
quick and
Polaris,
easy.
Sea-Doo, as
You know,
well as
run out
Wouldn't
there.
be quick and easy to be
scooters and
a member over by me.
And Bayou Power Sports Service Department
You work right
specializes
there.
in aftermarket
Oh, yeah.
parts, accessory
But I'd
installation,
have to go home and get all my
factory
equipment and come back.
service, and
No.
repair and maintenance
I
of
can't
all
carry
makes
all
and
my stuff
models.
in the
Yeah,
truck.
you can't carry in the truck.
No need
Company
to get
policy.
any.
From the truck, I
You
can't.
leave it in my shop.
I'd have to do that.
Leave it in my shop. And you can just get it, go hunting, and go home.
And what about me?
On the Southern
Oh, that's
Outdoor
right,
Show,
you do
it's
hunt,
time
don't you?
now for your archery talk.
Yeah.
Louisiana Archery Association 3D Archery at its
That's
finest.
my baby
With
girl.
That's your baby
locations in
girl.
North Louisiana, Bastrop, Centerpoint, Okaloosa, Tupac. Archery for all ages and skill levels. No matter
Who-
your skill
y'all still up there in
level, beginner to
Kansas?
pro, we have a
Nebraska.
class to suit you.
Nebraska, yeah.
For more
I always say
information,
Kansas.
including
Everybody
2015
does. Everybody
schedule,
says
rules,
Kansas.
classes,
We're in Nebraska. Matter of fact, we're
directions,
getting
and
ready.
contact
You,
numbers,
Clint, and who
go
else
to
is
our
on it?
Nikki
website,
Curry.
nelaa.org.
I thought Jason had
Neela
got in
invites
there.
you to come
No, he
spend
just-
some
He
time
went
with
up there a
us
couple times.
and experience 3D archery. We hope to see you there.
Welcome to Southern Outdoors Archery Talk, brought to you by Northeast
We,
Louisiana Archery
I got a
Association.
guy down in Texas. He's
This
got
past weekend's NELA 3D Archery Tournament was held at Centerpoint Bowling, and what a great
13,000
weekend for
acre
some
lease
3D
land.
fun.
what he's in.
70
$350.
shooters came out, and here's how they stacked up.
And they don't have it like
Peary class, Max Milton, 188 for first,
25, 30
Nathan Wright,
minutes.
183 for second,
And
and Mary Ava Cannon with
18
a
of the
53 for
25,
third.
you don't really see.
Cubs class,
He hunted out
Cooper
there.
Mills
Well,
with
he
a
took it
204
last year.
for first,
Why wouldn't you
Case
be in there?
Farr with a 169
Well, I
for
gotta get
second,
it. He's in it.
and Caleb Johnson with a 120 for third.
Well, they split him
Longbow,
this year.
Mike Simmons with
They
a
split the
192
club up
for
this year.
first, Roger Briggsy, 190 for
Split
second,
down the middle.
Mike Uchley,
That's two
182
different
for
clubs.
third.
Dudes went up.
That's
Traditional
still
class,
6,500
Anthony
acres
Denton,
apiece.
187 for
Dudes went up
first,
to 500.
Adam
It's still
Taylor,
cheap.
178 for
But it's,
second,
it, property,
Michael
he's
Taylor
got some
with a 144
nice
for
deer on.
third.
We went down there. He fell out of
Youth
out of
class,
his deer stand,
Mackenzie
bow
Farr
stand this year.
with a
Broke
198
his
for
heel,
first,
crushed his heel.
Russell Hale
broke his
with a
elbow.
186 for
He
second.
come up and he
and
lives in
Brandon
Texas. He's got
Harris
some
with a
family up here.
186 for third.
We haven't been friends for years, but he stayed with us a little bit. I
Class.
carried him hunting a couple times.
Mary Claire
And,
Tucker,
So I
171
carried him
for first,
down there because he had.
and Michaela Sutton with a
That Tucker
136
girl
for second.
was the first tournament.
Oh,
Women's
really?
bow hunter,
Wow.
Kim Worthy with a 212 for
But he,
first. Alicia Cranford, 192 for
he had been
second.
working right the hunt
Randy
season.
Wright,
And he had
189
cameras and
for
stuff
third.
out, blinds.
Women's Open,
He
Nikki
hunts a lot
Hall,
from Grandma.
210 for first. Angela Mims with a
He
200
came up here to
for
hunt with
second.
his
Novice
it's really his
class,
cousin. He calls her
Jeremy
sister
Thompson,
because her
197
mama
for first.
raised him. His mama
Sailor Hall,
and daddy died at a
186
young
for
age.
second. And
Yeah,
Mark Bennett
they
with
live right
185
outside
for
of
third.
Russell,
Bow hunter
167.
class, Jamie
I
Johnson
can't
with
remember her
200
husband's
for
name.
first.
Her name's Deidre.
Greg Arnold with a
I
196
think he
for
has
second.
insurance. He's
Mark
insurance.
Rogers with a 185 for third.
But anyway, they got a bunch of
Bow hunter
land.
outlaw.
She manages the deer.
Michael Mims, 198 for first.
He was down there
Brian
hunting
Tucker,
Putnam Park
188 for second.
and got up
And
in the
Stephen
stand.
Jones with a 186 for
And,
third. Senior Open.
Stand he hadn't
Ian
hunted all
Boone,
year.
195 for
Bottom,
first.
bottom of the boat
Kenny
stand for
Ambrose,
Millennium Ball. It
194
was
for
covered
second.
with
And
leaves.
Scott Moore
And he went to
with
wrinkle
190
back.
for third.
And by the time they went to
Open
wrinkle
class,
back,
Lincoln
the
Hall
feeder
with a 212 for
spun.
first.
That corn hit that
Jonathan
middle
Wright,
plate.
206
He
for
thought it was a
second.
rattlesnake
And
under
John
the corn.
Pamberg with 206 for third.
And under the leaves,
No
he jumped back.
45 class,
till,
Tim Moore with a
what,
212
25
for
feet.
first.
Landed on
Rodney
his feet,
Wiley,
crushed his
208
heel.
for second.
Anyway, make a long
And
story
Bobby
short,
McGee with a
I
199
carried him
for
back
third.
home one day to go get his cameras and stuff out of the
Pro
woods.
class, Buzz
Me and him
Townsend,
ran down there.
212 for
You
first.
know, he lives in
Tommy Mills,
Morrisville, Texas,
197
about
for
4 hours
second.
from the house.
And JD Mills,
We ran down there and got all his
191 for third.
cameras out.
Pro money
And we got
class,
back with looking all the pictures.
Jason
God,
Daniels
yes,
with a 216 for first.
Nice one.
And Ronnie
Everything's cut
Rundquill
over and
with
thick.
204 for second. Next
That's why he
weekend,
owns that
June
grandma.
6th, will be Bastrop Bowhunters 3 Archer Tournament.
I'm
Y'all
not-
come on out and join in on the fun.
I bow hunted on the ground line this past year
Back to the Bayou Power
I hate
Sports
ground
Southern
lines.
Outdoor
for the
Show.
first time ever.
On Z107.1.
And I didn't mind it, but it's
Hunt
just
your
so
hunt for kids who
dark
got
in there
one.
when you get ready to go.
Welcome back to Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. I'm your host, Brandy Watson, along with Todd Causey and Dan Lord. And Dan, before we went to break, we was actually talking about NELA dues, and y'all changed some of the dues this year.
Memberships. We
Memberships,
did.
yeah.
Used to, you had to pay $25 for an individual or $25 for a family, and at each club. We changed it this year to where you pay $40 and you're a member of all 4 clubs. And then it's normally $15 to shoot at a tournament, but if you're a member, you shoot for $10. So beneficial for money wise, you're better off paying the $40 one time, and then you pay $10. And we have a $30 max family fee. So if you have 3, 4, 5 in the family, you know, that live in the same household, then they can come and it's a $30 members, you know, family.
So even if you're members, at $10 a member, once you hit 3 members, you 3 family members, you've reached that $30. So if you got 4 or 5, you still only pay the $30.
That's right.
Right?
And
It's a kind of a discount for a big family to help them be
it
able to
is, because
afford
there's
to
a
get
lot
out
of
there and
families.
bring
you
the
know,
whole family out, you know.
the husband, the wife, and probably 2 or 3 kids. They all can come and enjoy it.
Well, it's Neely is a family-oriented organization. You know, all the clubs are, and that's what Neely's all about: is getting the family, making a family fun day event. So, what better way than to give them a reduced price?
That's right.
Well, where's the shoot going to be held this year? The championship,
It's going to be at the Washita Parish Rifle Range.
same place. I
Same
figured
place.
as much, but just wanted to ask and get
And
it
the
out.
banquet will be there also this year.
It's a great facility for it. It's been held there for the last 3-4 years,
It has.
and great facility. Very, very
Actually, I
nice.
think this is going to be the 5th year.
Yeah, you're
It's
probably
gonna
right.
be the 5th year.
Probably right. It's been a while.
And the Washita Parish Rifle Range, they're good to us. They let us come in, and we have the banquet at their facilities, and we had the tournament there also.
Yeah, and they have. If you've ever shot, if you're out there and you're listening, you've ever shot a tournament at the Washita Rifle Range, they got 3D tournaments. They got many ranges that they can shoot, so it makes it a whole lot easier to do the Neela shoot, which is a big event, because you can have different ranges for different classes.
Right.
Because at the Neela shoot, you split everybody up and everybody shoots with their peers in their own class, instead of everybody just being California start, just go whenever. So it makes it a whole lot easier to do that, being able to have multiple ranges.
And a lot of people like to shoot with their peers.
Yeah.
You know, you've shot all year with your family, and especially the kids. They, not that they don't want to shoot with their family, but they like to shoot with other kids their age.
That's
and,
right.
And us, instead of walking around with the same group every week, you go out and you shoot with people that you've been shooting against all year.
That's right.
You've been listening to Bayou Power Sports, Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. We're going to take you to your Southern Outdoors Bible verse. Then we're going to take you to your B&L Marine Outdoor Calendar. And we'll be back after this. And you might as well go ahead and go for the rest of the week. Might as well do it.
You go back to sleep now. You go back to sleep now.
This is the Bible verse of the week on the Southern Outdoors Show.
Sorry.
On
Are you
your
going to
Southern
Monroe?
Outdoors Bible verse for this week, we get a Romans chapter
Right.
6, verse 23.
You might go through
For
it.
the wages of sin is death,
Have you heard from him?
but the gift
Yeah,
of
me
God
too.
is eternal
How's
life
it doing?
in Christ Jesus our Lord. God not only shows his love for us through the beauty and wonder of his outdoor
Take this
creations,
one to the
but
show.
ultimately through his Son Jesus. Although the created world cannot fulfill us and make our lives complete, but Jesus can. And this has been your Southern Outdoors Bible verse, Romans chapter 6, verse 23. God bless.
When it comes to power sports, come to Northeast Louisiana's premier power sports destination, Bayou Power Sports Monroe. Bayou Power Sports carries
So you gonna
motorcycles,
do the rest of the
scooters,
week, too?
BWCs, ATVs, and side-by-sides from Honda, Yamaha, Polaris, and Sea-Doo,
This
as
means
well
being
as Honda
talked to the
generators and Eaton scooters and ATVs. And
I put
Bayou
down
Power
town
Sports
hall.
Service Department
Tina,
specializes
our
in
neighbor,
aftermarket
Tina,
parts
you know,
and
Arthur's
accessory
daughter?
installation, factory authorized service.
I guess it got so hot outside, her pit bull got night shifts.
For customers just like you. No need to go anywhere but Northeast Louisiana's premier power sports destination. Bayou Power Sports,
something on Facebook,
6100 Frontage
take
Road, Monroe.
canned corn,
At
pour it into
BayouPowersports.com.
a muffin pan,
On the Southern
freezing
Outdoors
it,
Show, it's time
and
now
feed it
for
to
your
chickens on
outdoor
hot
events
days and have
calendar.
some cool
Brought to
eat.
you
I'm
by
like,
B&L Marine.
come on.
Are you
Giving
ready
your
to hit the
chickens.
water? B&L Marine is the newest Crestliner dealer in town. Come check out all
Last
the
time,
new
have you
current
seen the one where they
edition
take a bunch of
817
dog
Pros,
toys
90 horsepower Yamaha,
and put in an old ice cream bucket with water and freeze it and put it outside for the dogs from the hot? It gives them something to entertain and something to chew on. It keeps them cool.
What is that?
Take like an old ice cream, gallon ice cream bucket or a bucket, put all their toys in it, freeze it, and then dump it out in a little.
Try to get 'em out.
They're doing the pacemaker
Welcome to
upgrade.
Southern Outdoors event calendar, brought to you by B&L Marine, where you can get all of your boating needs. Your Neela 3D schedule, June 6th.
How many turkeys you get this
Boat
year?
Runs. June 13th, Okaloosa
Dude,
Archery.
I wish you wouldn't even
June
brought that
20th,
up.
Tupon
Start
3D
crying.
Archery.
Is it that bad?
I didn't even hunt
27th,
the first
Center
time.
Point Bowman. And July
I
11th, the
was so
Needles
busy.
Championship Shoot and Banquet.
I've been working 7
If
days
you
a
got
week.
an event you'd like to
You
have
sound
added
like
to your
us.
program,
We ain't
you
stopped.
can
Well, I'm doing that
contact
Texas
us
Roadhouse in
by
Western
Facebook
Road. It
message
sucked
at
all
Southern
my
Outdoors
time.
Radio's
Are they
Facebook
putting a
page,
Texas Roadhouse over
or
there?
email us at southernoutdoorsradio
Where they
at
put it at?
Where the
yahoo.com.
Lone Star was.
On the Southern Outdoor
Man, it
Show.
is.
Lone Star.
They've been working on that
That's the
building
other side of Thomas
forever.
Road, ain't it?
Brought to you by Riverside,
Since
Coney
February.
Island.
God, it's a long
That's on the other
way.
side of Thomas Road, ain't it?
Riverside,
Yeah.
Coney Island, in Monroe.
Right there.
Riverside,
Yeah.
Coney Island
It's
is
the only
open
restaurant
daily
right
from
there.
11 a.m.
Yeah,
to
it
10
is.
p.m.
Woo,
It also
this
has
man.
soft shell crab,
That's
crab
over
legs, jumbo
$200,000
shrimp, grill
project.
oysters, and daily lunch specials.
When do they post
Tuesday
that?
night, come hear Slim
July.
Finley. Wednesday night, listen to Zach O'Neill. Thursday night, come hear the Tommy Jackson
Yeah.
Band.
I was
He's
Friday
open
Saturday
it.
night,
Give me
it's
his number so I
Gary
can
B.
call him.
Sunday karaoke with Frankie B.
Buffalo.
And
I
Monday,
mean,
Dave Gore
Texas
takes the
Roadhouse.
stage. At
They're not
Riverside, Coney Island,
individually
in
Yeah, they're
Monroe.
franchise
owned.
A
They're
10-pound
owned.
Corporate.
special.
Yeah.
On your Southern Outdoors recipe of the week, this week we have white perch fillet on two.
Well, the new spots I was telling you I got,
Salt and pepper, 2 pounds of
I'm
white
loaded
perch
with perches
fillets,
over there.
2 eggs beating, 1 garlic clove
Loaded.
minced, 4
I plan
tablespoons
on
of butter, 6
killing my
pieces
first
of
turkey
bread,
next year
toasted.
right there.
Combine flour,
I
salt,
told one
and
of Brandy's
pepper.
friends on
Dip
one.
perch in eggs and dust with seasoned flour.
He was having
Saute garlic in butter.
having trouble
and then
getting on a
saute
bird, and I
perch
told
on
him,
both
"I'll tell you what, I'll
sides
get you on a
until
bird." And he
brown.
come to the house and
Then serve
drove
on
down there
toast. And
on
this has
12
been
o'clock
your
that night, showed him where to go,
so
and
good
went back next morning
Southern
to kill a bird.
Outdoors recipe of the week.
Now, back to the Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoor Show. On
You can tell how easy they will kill birds. You can tell them birds ain't hunted and blah, blah, blah.
And welcome back to Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors on Z107.5. We've had Dan in the studio with us tonight talking about NELA. So Dan, give everybody a recap of NELA and how many tournaments are left and a recap of the show.
We have 4 tournaments left. Bastrop, Okaloosa, Tupau, and Center Point. And then we have a break from July the 4th weekend. And July the 11th, when we'll have our championship and our banquet for the end of the year. And if anybody has never shot a 3D tournament, they really need to come try it at least one time.
Definitely, because you will be hooked. It will
And not only hooked, but they'll enjoy it, where they get to walk through and they're not pressured and they get to shoot their bow, and it prepares them for deer hunting. I was told that it took a guy a couple of years to talk me into finally doing 3D. And I was like, I don't need that. I go out there and I shoot my bow and it's on and I'm good. But muscle memory. Until I started doing it, I didn't understand how well 3D helps bow hunting. Because when a deer comes out, the ease of shooting the deer is so much easier when you shoot 3D tournaments, because you shoot that bow way more than 3 or 4 times and say, hey, it's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
And your loss of deer decline because you concentrate more on certain points of shoot through and where to hit. And
It just hones your skill of shooting a bow, period, whether it be at a 3D target or a live game, and makes you a much better bow hunter.
it is, and when you're shooting 3D, you're looking for that small. You know, if you aim small, you hit small. And I find that when I'm deer hunting, to find that one little spot on that deer, and that's what I focus on. And it has increased my success tremendously.
I know when I first started shooting 3D archery, it was the same for me, Dan. I'd started bow hunting and was just barely getting into bow hunting, and the guy who actually got me started bow hunting, Billy Montgomery, he actually taught me into shooting a 3D tournament, and I'm like, I ain't doing that, you know. Finally went out there and shot one tournament. Back then we had 30 target courses, and got done with the 30th target and had lost my 12th arrow on that target. It was a walk-in bear. Left the range, went straight to the archery shop, ordered brand new sights, bows, rests, releases, everything. I didn't have nothing that wasn't brand new coming, and got hooked. And I did it for years and years and years. And I skipped for a while because of work and stuff, and then back and skipped back. But once I did that, and started doing shooting 3D archery every year, just shooting the bow became more of a second nature, I guess, if you will, than any kind of task. You know, it became like part of your day is to go out and shoot your bow. And you know, shooting 3D archery, if you're a serious bow hunter, you need to shoot 3D archery because it hones your archery shooting skills tremendously.
It does. I mean, pretty much anybody that can hit a pie plate at 30 yards can kill a deer. But injuring that deer and loss of that deer is a lot less if you shoot 3D tournaments where you can walk around. And lots of people think, hey, I don't want to go out there and get embarrassed. I don't want to do that. And people, they'll laugh because there's so many different people that go out. There's some that aren't real good that become good. Just like you were saying, you went out and lost 12 arrows on a 20. I'm not going to say how bad that was, but you know, that was pretty bad. But you went out there and you've done it, and you got experience with it, and you enjoyed it, and you got a little better. Not as good as a lot of people, but you got better.
I take that as a knock at me, y'all. But that's definitely what happened. And you know, I had a thought when you was talking, and it just for some reason
You got him off course by County.
My point is, people shouldn't be discouraged because they don't think they shoot as good as others. You know, you'll be surprised when you come out. People have good days and people have bad days, and you're more or less out there. Like I said, it's a family atmosphere. Nobody's out there to laugh at you because you missed. We all miss.
That's exactly right.
I went with the guys and started shooting traditional. I'm thinking, oh, that's easy. They're standing right there close to it. Well, traditional's a lot harder than you think it is. And I missed several. You know, I come in and they're like, man, I scored a 180. I'm like, I scored a 120.
You know, I've heard that so many times. You talk about that, you know, trying to get new people to come out and shoot. Man, I don't want to go out there. You know, I'm not very good and all this stuff. You don't have to be good to shoot a 3D archery tournament. All you've got to do is want to have fun.
Have fun.
Because
It's
you're
a blast.
going to have fun. You know, whether you're good or you're not good, you're going to have fun. And like Dan said, nobody out there is going to say one word to you about missing that target because they know they might miss the very next one they shoot at.
Even the pro shooters miss targets.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just happens.
And as far as bow hunting goes, you know, shooting 3D archery and like honing your shooting skills, like Dan says, you makes you a better bow hunter as far as shooting because you become more precise in everything you do.
Well, just look at it this way. If you go out in a 3D tournament and you're shooting at a deer and you miss that target, why did you miss that target? You know, that could have been a live deer that you missed.
That's right.
So you focus on what you did wrong, and it'll help you become a better archer.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And not only that, it helps you learn shot placement and angles. How this shot, a lot of times you're out there in the woods and you see a deer and it's facing towards you, you think, oh, I can bust right through there, I can get it. Well, that's a very bad shot to take. But when you get out on a 3D range and you start shooting, and you shoot at some different angles like that on those 3D targets, you see how when you're aiming, where you think you're aiming at the right spot, when you hit, you see that's not where you're going to hit. You have
Well, sometimes the tricks that we have setting up tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
which you know, you've done it, is you can just quarter that animal just a little bit. And that'll make you shoot left or right, just
That's
with
exactly
being
right.
quartered just a little bit.
That's exactly right.
I've had some you couldn't tell that it was really quartered until you walked down and saw it was quartered and you missed it an inch.
Mhm.
You're like, how did I do that? But it's because
And you're like, how was that target quartered that much? I mean, I didn't see that. And then when you get back up at the stake again, you look at it again, and you're like, okay, now I'm seeing it. Well, that's what I'm talking about. It helps you learn when that live animal's standing out there. Okay, is he broadside or is he not? You know, is he perfect or is he not? And you know, helps gives you that confidence to not be in such a rush to get a shot off. To know, hey, I can wait a few minutes and let him get perfect for the perfect shot, and still confident that I can make a good shot on him. So it you know, it's just really a good thing.
And the ones that want to get involved, they can go to NELA.org, NELAA.org. That's our webpage. Kim does a fabulous job on this webpage. She works really hard. She puts all the information, all the rules, all the scores, the contacts, anything you need to know, it will be on that webpage. So that's NELA.org, NELAA.org.
That's right. You can go to that website and find a club closest to you and has contact information for that club president, or you can call Needle Club President Dan Lord and get your fees, your dues in, and join the club and enjoy some.
And they don't have to make every tournament.
No.
I mean, they can come to one every once in a while just to kind of get into it and see how it is. I mean, they can come, even though we have 4 left, they could just pick one that's close to them. We're not asking everybody to stop what they're doing and come to every tournament we have. We're just asking them to get involved and just come out and shoot one and see how you like it.
That's right.
And at this time, we want to thank some of our sponsors. We want to thank Bayou Power Sports. It's Northeast Louisiana's premier dealer located in Monroe. It carries motorcycles, scooters, PWCs, ATVs, and side-by-sides from Honda, Yamaha, Polaris, and Sea-Doo, as well as a full-service department. The official side-by-side dealer of Southern Outdoors. Naomi's Pond and Gun in Jonesboro, Louisiana. They have everything from diamonds to double barrels. We also want to thank B&L Marine in Monroe. If you're looking for a new boat to get you out there in the water, go there and see them at B&L Marine. We also want to thank Dan with NELA and all the NELA members, Northeast Louisiana Archers Association. We want to thank Riverside, Coney Island. If you have any suggestions or if there's anything you would like to hear on our show, you can hit us up on Facebook at Southern Outdoors Radio Facebook. And Dan, we want to thank you again for being on the show tonight. And we will have Dan back in on the show when it gets closer to the championship, which is going to be July the 11th.
July 11th.
We want to thank you again. We'd like to thank all of our listeners out there from Canada, Costa Rica, and all over the world. I'm Brady Watson. That's Todd Causey. It's not just hunting.
It's a way of life.
Listen every Tuesday at 6 p.m. for the Bayou Power Sports Southern Outdoors Show with Brady Watson and Todd Causey. Follow us on Facebook at Southern Outdoors Radio. Listen to archived episodes on demand on Z1075 FM.